Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C, Pattern of Conduct, real-time documentation of the state of California's criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California in violation of existing federal law, that is 18 U.S.C. section 2261A, subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is ongoing documentation that is specifically gathered following my release from kidnapping by this entity that was ceaselessly monitoring in violation of 18 U.S.C. and in violation of Title 15 and in violation of the Prison Rape Elimination Act, as I was subject to the same exact criminal pattern of conduct while kidnapped by this entity seeking to conceal this criminal system that I am documenting and publishing and exposing on the venue of the internet, where I am also subject to the criminal pattern of conduct, and understand that kidnapping is the pattern of conduct that is criminal obstruction of justice, as the entity seeks to avoid prosecution and to avoid documentation and exposure for engaging in this criminal system. The people of the state are the vicarious aspect of the entity. They are engaging in federal stalking as I am kidnapped by the state inside of the state facilities, all right? And they are fully engaging in kidnapping upon criminal summoning. So this is the this is the entity from beginning to the end engaging in the criminal acts of the federal stalking and the acts of criminal obstruction of justice. This is also documentation on the venue of the internet engaging in the criminal pattern of conduct via obstruction of justice, and this is in any way reducing or removing the ability to publish the ongoing documentation of the state's criminal pattern of conduct, which is waging an ongoing threat to my life as I remain subject to this criminal system. And this is the criminal pattern of conduct on the venue of the internet, okay? And that is the totality of what I have documented since release. I was kidnapped from June 18, 2021 from third-party facilitating venue of the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, where the Ontario Police Department were monitoring, and this in conformity to the ongoing wealth of documentation that I have already published, specifically revealing the Ontario Police Department engaging in monitoring and kidnapping, which was via the assertion of a fictitious warrant pursuant to a fictitious prosecution. That is the people of the state of California v. Erica Lorraine Spencer, case number Mary Wendy Victor 2000640. I was subject to kidnapping pursuant to this fictitious prosecution, documentation on the facility cameras everywhere that I was inside of the facility of West Valley, located at 9700 Etiwana Avenue in the city of Rancho Cucamonga, California, and at the state facilitating venue of the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, located at 8303 Haven Avenue in the city of Rancho Cucamonga, and I was subject to federal stalking ceaselessly at the jail, at the courthouse, in the courtrooms, okay? The same exact pattern of conduct ceaselessly underway. The kidnapping serves obstruction of justice, and that this is kidnapping that I endured from June 18th, 2021 up until August 16th, 2021. This is the P.O.C. It's 2:26 in the morning, patrolling, flying over the museum, using plane and train as I document and upload onto the internet. Seconds later, that's Union Pacific. That's another plane. So that's plane, train, plane. Just maintaining activity as I'm on the internet and monitoring. That's terrorism while they're engaging in federal stalking. (2:30 a.m.) That's the fake sound of a train as though it's approaching. And then a train crosses path at an amplified volume. And that's how Union Pacific engages in the P.O.C. with the state that maintains a soundtrack while that train is pacing back and forth. And that is literally the engagement in illusion with sound, as pathetic as the state is with its illusion with light under a fake sun, and that which is not sunlight. The state is engaging in vacillation of volume as though a train is approaching or as though a train is leaving. The state is doing nothing but adjusting what is amplification. And doing so, again, when there isn't even any train on the tracks. And the state is creating audible activity right now where there is no train that is crossing path right now. It's 2:37 a.m. Union Pacific engaging in what is federal stalking and terrorism as this demonic practice is being used using the methods of train noise, P.O.C. Right? And this is the vacillation of volume using plane activity. The same demonic conduct and terrorism. Like they're taking off over the museum. They're stalking, not going anywhere. That's P.O.C. That's amplification. That is Satan using planes and trains as noise to monitor. That's the psychopath, just turning up the volume. Just like I showed you them flying over 150 East Holt, they're already stalking right here, hovering over the building and turning up the volume of the method of noise, whatever method they're using. This is what the state is doing with trains. This is what the state is doing with planes. And because I am outside, this is what the state is doing with any method of activity creation based on where you're at. (2:39 a.m.) (2:51 a.m.) This is the same thing the state does with the train, just turning up the volume of amplified audible activity. The state is maintaining presence, flying over repeatedly in airplanes, not taking off. There's no airport here. They are stalking in airplanes. In addition to that, this is amplified audible activity using the method of the sound of airplanes, which is being turned up in volume as they fly over, as though they're approaching and leaving. They're flying over, and repeatedly so. The state is stalking in airplanes, and the state is stalking by train. It's 3:02 a.m. Three 14 a.m. Ongoing patrolling over museum, 6:24 a.m. Okay, and 30 seconds earlier did the same thing. Has been engaged in ongoing stalking. That's the state. Engaging in ongoing stalking, flying over me at the museum all night, and at 6:25 a.m. That's P.O.C. That is demonic activity practiced by the state. This is terrorism, as I'm documenting. Okay. At the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, and like I showed last night, as on the grounds, the people of the state of California are stalking on the grounds of the museum, maintaining relevant position while the state is stalking, flying over me in planes, and so they are here, and they're also patrolling around in traffic. All right, and the state, again, the Ontario Police Department, the demon-possessed stalkers, AMR, the fire, they're monitoring to this ongoing activity. That's why the state is flying over me here. Okay, that's P.O.C. All right, it's still the same time, another plane. It's as though they want to redo it because I started recording that one. And less than 15 seconds later, so you're talking about the other plane still in the same sky space, and another one is flying over. They're not going anywhere. This is called pacing. It's demonic pacing. And doing it in the unheard of method of stalking in airplanes is exactly what the people of the state of California do. And it's what the people of the state of California are doing. They're using their commercial airlines to engage in this terrorism, acting vicariously on behalf of the state. All right, that's 6:25 and 6:26. That's 3 airplanes. And this is what the state is doing all night long. Just like as I stood at the intersection and I'm documenting how the state was patrolling, that is literally repeatedly flying over 150 East Holt as I stood at that intersection of Euclid and Holt. That's what the state is doing over the museum, focusing its presence in planes where I am. And just as the state was sounding its sirens and stalking in fire truck, police, and ambulance, that's what the entity is doing. They're stalking in fire truck, police, and ambulance, monitoring while planes are repeatedly flying over the museum, not the health center. Okay? Not the senior center, flying right here where I am at the museum. It is 6:28 a.m. The state creating an artificial soundtrack, just like that. No train on the tracks, so a train is sounding a horn, and then a plane is flying over. Now all the state does is uses that same sound, turns the volume down as though a train is approaching, turns it up really loud as a train is passing by on the tracks, and engages in repeating that noise. All right. And the state is flying over right now by aircraft to that loud of sound of a train horn blowing. Knocking, sounding like knocking, hitting on the building of the museum. This is the same demonic activity that the people of the state engage in at the library, for example. And I'm describing what are demons who are sitting around, walking around inside of that venue, maintaining presence in the exact same environment that the state is maintaining inside of that venue. And they are hitting on objects. And as I'm outside, the state is engaging in that same demonic behavioral pattern, and you're hearing random noises sounding like knocking and hitting on the building as the state is engaging in monitoring and seeing if I'm recording it. There's nothing out here. There's nothing out here hammering. The state is creating noise. And when demons are surrounding me, they are the ones that are creating that noise. The state is artificially creating that noise around me outside at the museum. It is 6:42 a.m. I've also described that inside of third-party facilitating venue Economy Inn, for example, Mayfair Inn, where the state created artificial noise, making it sound like the room was cracking in half. All right, you're hearing random noises and booms and bangs in the walls. That's what the state is doing outside. That's entirely demonic. That's the psychopath, right? It is 6:42 a.m.
6:49 a.m.
It is 7:02 a.m. and everything that you are hearing, including the amplified sound of plane activity, is the maintenance of audible activity around at the museum. And this is ongoing demonic activity as the entity is engaging in federal stalking. And this is surveillance as I remain at a venue. All right. And then following from place to place as I go to any location. That is the method of train activity, 7:03 a.m. And this is P.O.C. $7:25 a.m. Under what is the fake sun that is not possibly over me in alignment at the day inn at 1405 East 4th Street, and also in alignment as I documented where the state is also aiming impossible light underneath the shaded walkways of this property where the state is stalking with its fake sun and directed light at the Ontario Museum of History and Art at 225 South Euclid Avenue. That's POC, that's demonic activity, and what is federal stalking. 7:26 a.m. $7:26 a.m. So it's not just the stalking that is the prosecution of the people. It's the environment that the entity is stalking in that equals the prosecution of the people. The fake sun in alignment with me here. The fake sun in alignment with me at Days Inn, as I just showed. All right, which is an example of what the state is doing at all places. I continue to make that example demonstrating stalking with the fake sun, where the state is also stalking by plane, helicopter, law enforcement. 7:27 a.m. $7:44 a.m. All right, I did document air gas. They're engaging in criminal facilitation. Hi, license plate 5991AG. That's a Virginia license plate on air gas, which is a company engaging in what is terrorism. They're a sex offender. They create light activity while my panties are down inside of the venue using the restroom. They're engaging in criminal facilitation with the state, monitoring with the people of the state under the fake sun, and did so while I was also kidnapped by the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department. That is air gas directly engaging in kidnapping. It is 8:36 a.m. Good morning. Hello. This is state facilitating venue, Ontario Health Clinic. You already saw the state's fake sun is over the venue. I've already demonstrated directed light is inside of the venue. And the state is sounding its sirens as I'm documenting third-party group stalkers. And so as I am using the restroom physically indisposed, the sex offenders are monitoring, demons are maintaining presence, and are maintaining real-time awareness of what I'm doing while they're engaging in federal stalking. All right, that's the sex offender. It's 8:37 a.m. All right, license plate 64504U1, 7YDS 352, 8XAL 439, 7HDC 977, 8MZL 510, 8URT 930, San Bernardino Sheriff's Department 1516154, driven by white male, Ryder, RYDER 669549, license plate 2519982. License 2K02, I can't really see that one, 7LXV 571. 5YJL840, I think I read that one already. 8FCG226, 7NUM 496, 9F81310. All right, and let's see, 8HBH139, I believe, 7DEM153. Hold on. Can't see under the fake sun. It's glaring under my eyes. 8HRH139, yeah. All right, these are sex offenders that are in position as I exit state facilitating venue, Ontario Public Health Clinics at 150 East Holt. All right, demons surrounding
So just identifying demons as I go. And demons are engaging in what are acts of terrorism. All right, as their condition, which is supposed to be a secret, is no longer a secret, and they're engaging in a targeting system. RALSTON, a terrorist and a sex offender. Patriot, portable restrooms. They're engaging in federal stalking. That's a commercial vehicle called Patriot. Wow, engaged in the most unpatriotic, criminal, and demented conduct you could ever engage in. And that is the very hypocrisy of this entire system that I'm revealing, by the way. It is 8:55 a.m. All right, group stalker remaining in alignment to me on the sidewalk. So sitting in their van, it's aligned to the sidewalk that I'm standing on as I exit the restroom. This is how demons engage in surrounding. The fake sun is directly over this van. 5XML332, 7RGD 649, 8VWL396, and this van's license plate is 7W53929. And this is third-party facilitating venue. I believe it's 111 or Motor Inn. Yeah, located at 111 South Women. They're monitoring. Captured the state's fake sun over their venue. Impossible light all over their venue. And engaging in what is, excuse me, engaging in what is monitoring with the state, directly the Ontario Police Department. 6SON994, 7KDA313, 7SRL608, 8LMH202. APUV 66, can't see the last character, 7ZBU724, 7XQB048, and that's a Jeep that of the one that I can't see the last character is driven by a white male, and it is a white Jeep, like a Cherokee Jeep. All right, and it's currently 8:57 a.m. City of Ontario. I'm sorry, San Bernardino County, excuse me, 1566755, 24565 U2. All right, these demons cross path, and it looks like a comic book as directed light is all around their vehicles on the asphalt, literally revealing what are psychopaths. 7GBA113. Literal sickos. $8WHK272. Okay, and that one engaging in terrorism, just like the rest of them. 8PPY922. Light is trailing across the wall as they drive by. 7WRK907. I've already shown this in video. Kegel's Appliances, for example. I showed you impossible light reaching all the way up to the top of that building. That's what they're doing. CK113. Light moving on the sidewalk as I'm walking down Hope Boulevard. That's what they're doing. 8R34335. And this is how you know every single last one of them are not only demon possessed. Greg Electric crossing path again. 005967, I believe. That's their California license number. License 5MRG686. 8PDH496. 6WWH584. OLPAPER. 8JZH552, 8KGV370, 8JNJ301, 5WKR583, 8G26521. All right, and this is how you know that they are all engaging in the same system. That's not a coincidence. Not only is that impossible, all right, as I've shown you, you're looking at light activity, which is inexplicable. This is abnormal, and this is unnatural, okay? That's speaking to the demonic system in operation. But you're also looking at what is the ongoing occurrence. That which is unnatural and impossible to occur, how is this happening? And then it's happening over and over again, which each and every quote-unquote random person that's driving by. All right, understand that is the direct evidence against them, that they are all engaging in that together. They being the people of the state, acting in concert with the state, the public entity that is engaging in this targeting system. 7WKR907. That is the absence of coincidence. That's an impossible coincidence. You don't have impossible circumstances like that occurring over and over again coincidentally. In other words, 24565U2, and I established this a long time ago. I showed the directed light while I'm on the sidewalk, and the state's fake sun is remaining over my head also. That's also another impossible and revealing circumstance. 5MRG686 goes to Andy's Burgers. I documented them. They cross path, they molest, and then they loiter in relative positions by Andy's Burgers. Omnitrans loitering in relevant position. All right, engaging in demonic behavioral pattern using their commercial status as a bus line to turn on their hazards. They are maintaining presence and they are engaging in federal stalking. So you're looking at the elements. This is how demons conduct themselves. This is how demons engage in the system. And you're stripping it down to the elements. They don't have any form, but they rely on form. So I'm showing you what is their form, and I'm showing you what is the demonic conduct that they're engaging in. It is 9 a.m. on the dot. Hadley is a sex offender driving east on Holt Boulevard and light a long line of directed light streaming all the way from the street. And this Holt Boulevard street, it's a very broad street, reaching all the way backwards toward me in order to touch. And that's also an assault, all right? While these demons are engaging in that conduct, light is a weapon, okay? It's an instrument of criminal conduct. And the state is engaging in ongoing threat and assault with light and sexual molestation of your person with light. All right, and invasion, constructive presence inside of the private space with you, with light. That's what I showed you inside of Days In. That is the routine pattern of conduct, by the way. That's exactly what I demonstrated and documented inside of Mayfair Inn, inside of Economy Inn, inside of Woodside Senior Apartments. Okay? All of these venues, I've already shown you this. And that's exactly what they're doing while they're crossing paths in cars. 7ZZD213. It is 9:01 a.m. at third-party facilitating venue B&G Plaza. Going to Shiro's Liquor. All right, exiting Shiro's Liquor. It's 9:08 a.m. Omnitrans bus license plate 1399976, bus number 1262. Loitering in relevant position under the fake sun. All right, it's directly over me. Monitoring with the state and engaging in terrorism inside of that venue. The state is creating directed light, flashing it around the microwave. And Omnitrans is stalking at its bus stop using its hazards, which is demonic conduct, while they're monitoring, all right, in the environment being maintained by the state. Omnitrans has no form. In doing so, and I'm referencing their security cameras, P.O.C, and doing so while the state is amplifying plane activity while I'm inside of Shiro's Liquor, and they are outside in direct relevant position at bus stop. That's audible activity at bus stop number 7909. Okay, so let me give you a picture of that, even though I don't need a document, but let me show you what they're doing. All right, I did capture substantial video of Omnitrans engaging in not only federal stalking, you're looking at what is revealing demonic activity as it is practiced by that actor under the name of Omnitrans, and that particular driver as well documented. For example, I didn't specify it in the video, but he was engaging in federal stalking and terrorism with the Fontana Police Department. That was at the Fontana Omnitrans bus stop, monitoring with the people of the state, engaging in demonic activity, which is terrorism with the people of the state, and particular what was the Fontana Police Department. So this license plate that I already recited on on video, 6KEV284, is monitoring with the Omnitrans, goes inside of S.I.I.S Liquor, so you'll see him on camera, and is creating audible activity right now under the fake sun, which is right over me at S.I.I.S Liquor, okay? That's P.O.C. That is a white male with a beard and a mustache with a black cap on. Directed light is touching on me while he drives past, just like Omnitrans, okay? Again, that's 6KEV284. It is 9:12 a.m. Alrighty. That is P.O.C. And again, this is inside of B&G Plaza. License 7KUH520. 8X63567 2203 U2 22033 U2, I believe. Ultra personnel located at 326 Holt Boulevard inside of the B&G Plaza. They're monitoring. U308CA, that's a Utah plate, I believe, out of state plate. 5JRF435. Entering inside of the B&G Plaza on camera, 8BBS877 and 7YWR584. Both of them, one going toward Andy's Burgers, the other one's going toward Ultra Personnel crossing path. Both of them under the fake sun. This is deep in possession. License plate 18802U2. Group stalker already in position, sitting inside of his car, inside of the parking lot under the fake sun, maintaining presence. Whether I go to Andy's Burgers or whether I continue walking on the sidewalk, he's in relevant position, monitoring with a minor child. This is a Latino male. This is license plate. And understand what monitoring is. You're engaging in what is demonic activity, that is terrorism and sexual violence of an American citizen, and you're doing so while you're holding the hands of a minor child, 8RSP994. And the state engages in creation of directed light. That's communication of a threat while you're monitoring with a minor child, monitoring in concert with 8DIS032, which is supposed to be the guise under which light appears out of the atmosphere on that third party's car. 5MRG686 now driving out of the drive-thru of Andy's Burgers. 7MPH837, 8BBS877. Yeah, that's the correct license plate of the one that entered. 7HGU586. And again, the one that's engaging in sexual violence, engaging in stalking and terrorism, 8RSP994 with a minor child. It is 9:14 a.m. 9:16 a.m. License 7E61727. This is a commercial vehicle. This is Camacho's Plumbing and Welding. Yeah, that's a license plate. I don't see a California license number. Camacho's Plumbing and Welding, 7E61727. That's a license plate. It's 9:16 a.m. Terrorizing with the state in a helicopter, 8MHK200, while the state's flying over in a blue and white helicopter directly over Ontario Town Square. All right, Get Extreme Now, the group stalker that engaged in entering the parking lot, and directed light disappears in the atmosphere, shooting onto the vehicle of that third party that I was documenting that is engaging in federal stalking and terrorism and sexual violence with a minor child, is monitoring with that state, terrorizing with that state as the state is flying over the street in a blue and white helicopter. The blue and white helicopter that I have captured tons and tons of times, flying over my car, flying over the Ontario Town Square, over me, flying over me while I'm at the library, etc., etc., flying right now while I am in relevant position and amplifying that audible activity in order to engage in monitoring with license plate 7CZF919, and in order to communicate a threat with the intent to terrorize. That's why the state is doing so audibly. Understand that, because the state is always stalking via aircraft and helicopter, so it makes itself perceptible to communicate a threat. And while it is engaging in monitoring, that is also necessarily criminal facilitation of monitoring in concert with the people. It is 9:18 a.m. (7AO883) 7HXT660 ZINDIA 8CWZ594, I believe. 6DZP565 8WPO39, I think. 5RZ878 5RFZ878, I believe. All right, and it is 9:18 a.m. 7ZGM892 6ZLM 984, 7FAX 171, 6PQZ 175, 8DUE 376, 5NSF 068, 7FEW 343, 8JUL 164. The third-party facilitating venue is Metro 102 and Ontario Town Square Townhomes. 4NHC 969, 7NQP 901, 6RZD 073, 8XAJ 427, 5UAE 144. All right, that's called audible activity under the state's fake sun. Actual dogs, or the state literally playing the tape of a sound of dogs. The psychopath that I'm documenting engages in that conduct. 7SJM084, 7TZM958. In the state's fake sun, as I have already shown you, where the Ontario police also engaged in revealing their demon possession and stalker tendencies and issues. Where the state's fake sun is right here over Ontario Town Square, moving north beside me as I walk north of Plum, while sounding playing activity like it is right now. But then it's supposed to be over room 103 at Days Inn at 10:15 in the morning. 7VXG 703. Now that's Satan. And if this is City Hall, the Ontario Civic Center, the Ontario City Hall is a state facilitating venue where federal stalking and what is demonic activity, that is terrorism, is underway. That's why the state's fake sun is over the venue. That's why the state is amplifying plain activity while I am here. And that's exactly what you just heard. And I am at the City Hall. 8KVJ162, 7RIV284, 6KHM444, M760HO, LANDARQ, 7, and he's stalking in his car with the car door open, 7FFG797, monitoring to that plane activity, okay? 8937J, that's a handicap plate. 7VPN295, 5ZCS426. The Ontario Senior Center, located at 225 East B Street, where the state flies over the senior center. The state flies over in airplanes repeatedly, and commercial-sized airplanes and helicopters circling around a senior center and senior center apartments. Satan is not limited to some age of seniority, okay? And those old people are in there monitoring, serving the devil himself. License plate 205YA, stalking with activity, hopping out of her car, that's called stalking with activity. 8SNX664, going inside a third-party facilitating venue, the Senior Center. 5NSF068, 8JJX000, 8BHL385, 7WIG756, 5BVV101, 8JVL217, 7DJD259. And yet what we have is the presence of the sun that is perfectly aligned with me as it sits on the side of the library while I'm on the side of the library, after following me from the museum step by step as I go to the health department, the Ontario Public Health Clinics, and as I go to B&G Plaza, Charlotte's Liquor, Andy's Burgers, inside of that venue. And then as I come to the museum, the specific route that I take, the state's fake sun remains over my head. And yet it's going to both be at the same time at a central location over my head, over room 103 at 1405 East 4th Street, which is off the 10 freeway, as I clearly showed you where it is. All right, and while also you've got that coexisting light activity. All right, this is what you're looking at, what the state is doing. And that is not the sun that is remaining central over my head at both addresses at the same time. That is the state stalking, being where I am, wherever I am, regardless of how much of a contrast it is in location, because you're dealing with that which are demons, and they are not the leader. I'm the leader. They're following me, and they're going to follow me to a prosecution, which they're not going to escape. There is no escape, actually. That's the point of documentation. You can't escape from it. It's a matter of record. And it is currently 9:23 a.m. and the state's fake sun is here and nowhere near being over room 103, in perfect alignment with that hotel room, and remaining, by the way, for the duration of the day, which I showed you on video, as it's perfectly aimed over my room, over my head as I step out to show you what are double shadows on the door, directed light inside of the room, which moves rapidly all around inside of the room, which is not sunlight either. Not only is that not the sun, that wasn't sunlight that you're looking at. But that's what is documented, and that's what the state is doing, and it's ongoing direct evidence against every venue that I've already documented, every third party that I have already cataloged, including the state actors. And let me point something else out to you. Satan that drove by in a San Bernardino Sheriff's Department vehicle this morning, upon my speaking to what was kidnapping by air gas. Understand, the state's fake son was not over the health clinic, the Ontario Public Health Clinic, while the state was engaging in kidnapping yet again from June 18th to August 14th, 2021. The San Bernardino Sheriff's Department engaged in kidnapping upon what is federal stalking and the practice of demonic activity as terrorism was underway inside of that facility, a state facilitating venue. And the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, pursuant to that demonic behavioral pattern, as Satan hears its name spoken, answers the call, which is damning to itself. I don't understand that, and I'm not going to try to understand. I don't need to understand that. I'm just letting you know the pattern that they engage in. As you point out, what is actually very damning. And then they surface. And what the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department engaged in was presence under the fake sun, going out of its way, in other words, to come to where I am, where the fake sun is, because the state's fake sun was over the West Valley parking lot as I was being transported from the cell that I was inside of to the mode of transportation from which they drove me from West Valley to the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, and the fake sun clearly over the parking lot as the deputies, demon-possessed weirdos, just molest. I mean, they are covered in directed light. They're standing under a shaded structure, right? It's supposed to be shade, and they look absolutely ridiculous while they are standing in directed light, which is a mode of light activity. Understand, while I am sitting on the van or sitting on the bus, and they're patrolling around with the inmates, because that's all they're doing. These are demons that were literally just engaging in walking all around, literally patrolling around in a parking lot. And their form is that, we're moving all the inmates because we're going to take them all to court. Understand that they were engaging in federal stalking. The entire purpose, in other words, as unheard of as it sounds, but this is the same entity that is engaging in stalking with a fake son, as unheard of as it sounds, that has engaged in literally entertaining creating a fictitious prosecution, as unheard of as that sounds. All right. And this is what they're doing. The entire purpose of what they were doing with the inmates amongst the deputies was patrolling around, stalking together. All right. The inmates cooperating with that demented criminal act. They're engaging in federal stalking. They're engaging in what is demonic activity together. All of them are demons. Demons in the position of deputies, demons in the position of medical workers, demons in the position of inmates. They represent the people of the state of California that were monitoring ceaselessly engaging in terrorism inside of that facility. And while they were doing so via the channels of interstate commerce, as federal stalking was underway between the state, the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, and the people of the state, which is exactly what I documented and I have already published. So you have what is the Sheriff's Department this morning that crosses path as I recite their license plate under the fake sun, which is not coexisting with what was the state's fake sun directly over me in the parking lot of West Valley, located at 9500 Etowah Avenue. The state's fake sun wasn't over the health public clinics, over the San Bernardino Public Health Clinics located at 15 East Holt Boulevard. That is impossible to coexist. And I'm clearly showing you what is the fake sun over that building. The state's fake sun was not over this location. The state's fake sun was directly over the parking lot, aiming light where I am in that parking lot at the West Valley facility, a state facilitating venue. All right. And then the state's fake sun kept in alignment with me while I'm in the vehicle of the either the bus or the van, whatever mode of transportation they drove me in. They alternated between the van because they didn't want me writing down license plates. So then they would bury me on the bus and they would do whatever they did to try to keep me from being able to see license plate. I was documenting the entire time. Whether I'm on the van or on the bus, what you cannot miss is because what the state is doing. And so as they do it, I can't not witness it. You stop with audible activity, I hear it. Okay. So you're engaging in stalking with light, I see it. All right. So the state can't hide that. And so the state is engaging in placing its directed light. And this is what coexists. Not only is the fake sun remaining over the vehicle as it is in motion. This is federal stalking via channels of interstate commerce. And this is the state engaging in criminal facilitation of that unprecedented crime amongst the people of the state of California. as they are all together engaging in what is terrorism, as these are demons monitoring together. And the state's fake sun remained over the vehicle. And while the state, again, coexisting with that is the state's directed light. The state is aiming at a downward trajectory while I'm on the bus through metal mesh at the top of the bus. If you've ever seen the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department buses, or even the Los Angeles County Sheriff's buses, those are not windows where you're looking at the ability for anything to really get through. Actually, they're not designed for that, but it provides an indication that there is a sky outside of the bus. All right, it's metal mesh at the top of the buses, and the state is aiming concentrated, bright, orange colored light at a downward trajectory. Okay, first of all, and so this is light that is coming through horizontally through the top of the bus, which is literally impossible if you're going to posit that that's the sun. The sun is going to be over the transportation, over the bus, above the bus, okay? Let alone following it. I won't even get into that. But the state is conducting itself as though the sun is beside the bus. It's adjacent to the bus, and light is horizontally shooting through the metal mesh at the top of the buses, and not just horizontally but downward at a very sharp angle, such that light is moving around like a disco effect, an orange colored directed light moving all around inside of the buses while the department is driving on the freeways and the highways, channels of interstate commerce. This is literally terrorism as they are engaging in federal stalking on the highways and the roads, engaging in federal stalking with the people. All right, this is absurd and demented conduct by the Sheriff's Department. These are demon-possessed actors who are engaging in kidnapping and doing so in concert with the inmates. Understand that environment is not ongoing because the inmates are not a part of what's going on. This is demonic. As I have told you, the environment is telling you exactly what is the condition of those who are surrounding. These are demon-possessed actors who are in the jail monitoring with the deputies. I don't even understand that on a common sense basis. Because it makes me wonder. I just had a question. Like, why are you cooperating with the deputies? Are you going to get out of jail for free? I don't understand that dynamic, but I'm just letting you know what was ongoing. They are in the jails monitoring with the deputies. The state is maintaining the exact same environment. What you see ongoing inside of Starbucks, these walls of light, this dynamic light, this light moving all over, that's exactly what the state is doing on the buses, on the vans, while I am kidnapped and I am being transported from venue to venue, specifically West Valley at 9500 Etiwanda Avenue, where the state's fake sun is over the parking lot, and then the state's fake sun remains literally over the vehicle as I am being transported to state facilitating venue, the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, located at 8303 Haven Avenue in the city of Rancho Cucamonga. Okay, there is no coexisting of the actual sun being physically over, maintaining perfect alignment with me, both at 150 East Hope Boulevard and at 9500 Etiwanda Avenue. The San Bernardino Sheriff's Department is engaging in what is a demonic behavioral pattern. As you speak Satan's name, they come and arrive. That's exactly what the Sheriff's Department did this morning. As I'm speaking about air gas, who were engaging in kidnapping and federal stalking, which is terrorism, in concert with the Sheriff's Department. All right. And that's what I documented. That's what I spoke of. And you have the Sheriff's Department engaging, going out of their way to come where the fake sun is, which is over me. And that's why the fake sun was over their venue while I was kidnapped there. And following to the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, where it remained there until after 4 o'clock in the afternoon, because they kept me all day long, my body chained up and in handcuffs, in a cell where they were amplifying audible, artificial activity, which is in violation of Title 15 rights, while they're literally making noise and amplifying it, all right? While you're locked in a cell, while your body is chained up, they're going to be prosecuted for that. That is inhumane, a level of inhumane suffering that they've inflicted while these demons are engaging in what is federal stalking and trying to conceal it by kidnapping, entertaining a fictitious prosecution. Every single actor of the court, every single last one, that entire venue is engaging in federal stalking, but everyone that I have specifically identified by name is going to be prosecuted for that act, all right? It's inhumanity that they're engaging in while these demons sought to engage in obstruction of justice, kidnapping me. And I documented the entire act of kidnapping, okay? And then what they're doing while they're kidnapping. Not only are they engaging in federal stalking, look at how they're doing it. This is demonic at its core, and it is absolutely the infliction of inhumane suffering while they do it. And while you do it, while you're in a jail, there are federal laws that govern those facilities, which you remain subject to while you want to engage in demonic conduct, which is terrorism. So while you want to practice terrorism inside of that facility, you'll be prosecuted for all of that. There are intersecting federal laws that apply, which they were in blatant disregard of while demons were engaging in what is kidnapping and federal stalking. All right, terrorism on the vehicles of the Sheriff's Department, terrorism at the state facilitating venue of the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, terrorism inside of the state facilitating venue of what is West Valley Detention Center, as demons engaged in kidnapping while federal stalking was underway in concert with every single last inmate. There is no exception. Every single last deputy, every single last medical worker. This is why they were engaging in trying to artificially engineer a reason for having me in a mental ward when you don't even have legal right to have me in custody in the first place. These are demons that were engaging in this, trying to structure up, make up, literally, by libel. They're putting it in writing, they're publishing it, they're engaging in criminal conduct. That is libel, that is defamation, that serves a criminal purpose, the state's kidnapping purpose, all right? They want to abuse Penal Code 1370 in order to artificially engineer a mental health case in order to kidnap indefinitely inside of a mental ward. That's what the state was engaging in. And this is what they repeatedly attempted to engage in on January 13th, where they're initiating this case as I'm kidnapped by the Ontario Police, Jason 980509 and Lester Keys. And then I am kidnapped and I am subject to what is a fictitious prosecution. All right. And then on February 18th, I'm not given a trial. Lisa Rogan and immediately begins this. But understand, it's already written on the minute orders as I've published. They've written on the minute orders for the arraignment that commitment is pending for an obstruction of arrest. This was at the outset. This is what I'm telling you. This is from the outset. This is what the state intended to do. And their own criminal activity is memorialized on the documents that I received from them. All right. They put it on the internet, which I took screenshots of and I published. They are the ones that are engaged in it, and I have published it, and I want to bring back to your recollection what they have already engaged in, and then look at what they're trying to do now, as though you forget. And this is what the entity is unprepared for: documentation. All right. So you have what is from the outset the intent to abuse Penal Code 1370, artificially engineer a case of mental health in order to indefinitely confine inside of a mental ward. The most egregious abuse of the law and positions that you can fathom. And understand, these are demons that are doing so. This is a demonic system. That's criminal obstruction, which is the pattern of conduct. That is demonic activity concerted with the state that is repeatedly and ceaselessly intending to continue this criminal system. And that is what is documented about the officers of the court, the very courthouse itself, the Ontario Police Department, the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department. All right. Demons that are engaging in what is public corruption. All right. So it is 9:36 a.m. and I just want to give context as to what the Sheriff's Department are engaging in, going out of their way to come and monitor me under the fake sun while I'm here while I was beside what is the 150 East Hope Boulevard, because the fake sun was not over this building. The fake sun was over the parking lot of West Valley. All right. Not only on the day that I was kidnapped by the Ontario Police and transported, the fake sun remains over the Ontario Police vehicle while I'm being driven. Understand, I'm speaking to what is federal stalking, as they are utilizing channels of interstate commerce, and federal stalking is underway in concert with the people of the state. So this is law enforcement. This is what I'm speaking to. I'm reporting it right now. They are engaging in federal stalking, and that is terrorism, as a fake sun is remaining over the vehicle while they are kidnapping me and taking me to the police station, and then kidnapping me and taking me to the sheriff. All right. And the fake sun is over the vehicle the entire time and then remains over the venue. All right. Nowhere near 150 East Hope. Nowhere near over what is the Ontario Museum of History and Art. The state's fake sun is where I am, and that's the Sheriff's Department engaging in, first of all, knowledge of every word that I say. This is not a coincidence, all right? I'm speaking to what is demonic, all right, and the ongoing outward demonstration of that demon possession, and it is indiscriminate. It's 9:37 a.m., and that is P.O.C. That's the state sounding in the background. If you could perceive that, state sounding helicopter activity while Satan is listening to me report. Okay, the ongoing presence of the state's fake sun is beside the side of the Ovid Family Community Library, whereas in the evening it's literally in front of it, directly in alignment with me, aiming light under the same exact shaded walkway. While, by the way, at 10:15 a.m. it's directly above my head at 1405 East 4th Street, days in, and that's supposed to coexist. Okay, that's what the state is doing. That is the ongoing direct evidence of what is terrorism as it is being practiced by the state of California. Terrorism, that is federal stalking being practiced by the demon possessed. The demon possessed happens to be a public entity, the state of California. The demon possessed happens to be the people of the state of California, the vicarious actor that is engaging in federal stalking with the government, the public entity. All right, that's P.O.C. 9:38 a.m. All right, I did document what was crime scene investigation at the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, okay, under the fake sun, in directed light, amongst ongoing amplified audible activity that includes plain activity while I'm sitting on the side of the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, and that state actor crime scene unit coming to the library where high crimes are underway at the library. They have to bring in the crime scene unit. Let me be clear. I did document that on video. You'll see that the exact same environment, the exact same directed light, the exact same stalking conduct using a state vehicle, which is the intent to terrorize. And that is also criminal summoning by Ontario Ovid Family Community Library. Bringing the Ontario police in a different sort of vehicle is no different. That's criminal summoning, and that's going to be assigned to this venue that is engaging in ongoing terrorism. And they are engaged in a history of that as well. So this is another incident of documenting what is criminal summoning, for which this state facilitating venue will be prosecuted for, while they're engaging in what is demonic conduct, engaging in ongoing stalking with activity, outwardly conducting themselves as they're doing something else and they're not. They're maintaining presence, and these are psychopaths around here, walking around and patrolling in directed light and stalking, making noise all around, all day long, on surveillance cameras. All right, it is 10:06 a.m. and that is documentation of what is criminal summoning by the entity that's monitoring together. And what I also mentioned in the video, which is relevant, and again, I laugh because it's pathetic, not because it's funny. I'm advocating on behalf of the ordinary targeted individual who is not equipped or prepared, and nor should anyone have to be. This is speaking to what is the necessary legislation, and as a matter of justice, the type of prosecution, not a public entity engaging in what is demonic conduct, that is terrorism of an American citizen, while they want to engage in what is federal stalking, serving no legitimate purpose whatsoever. This is demonic conduct that is straight out of the pit of hell, and it's being practiced by government and in concert with the people of a state who are mutually demon possessed. All right, so that's why I am laughing, not because it's funny, but it is pathetic from my vantage point. So anyway, I spoke to what is reality. The crime scene unit, the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department crime scene investigation arrived in relevant position, engaging in kidnapping and federal stalking and terrorism. While I was kidnapped inside of that cell, specifically inside of Area 9, Cell C13. And while I was inside of that cell, inside of that unit, documenting on the surveillance cameras, the state engaged in what is presence, form for presence, American Medical Response Ambulance engaging in kidnapping, arriving that day. There is zero form, like I've said, and AMR has provided ample documentation of what they are engaging in relevant position. There's no form. While I'm subject to kidnapping inside of the jail and you arrive, taking a third-party group stalker on a gurney, all right, claiming that someone has died inside of the jail. This is the form that they're using, all right? This is the federal stalking and terrorism underway. So while crime scene investigation is present inside of Area 9C, and I am documenting this system underway while I'm inside of this jail subject to kidnapping, you have what is directed light, which is arriving, the same exact directed light that I am showing you that is moving about on the walls inside of Starbucks, on the bathroom walls, for example, in the depths of the Starbucks at 706 West Hall. I mean, light that you're looking at on the ceiling, inexplicable, unnatural light that is designed to terrorize while you're kidnapping someone and engaging in what is ongoing federal stalking while you're kidnapping, and then creating that's exactly the light activity that was underway, that the state was aiming inside of my cell, 9C13, while crime scene unit was there providing the outward form, which was no form, but this is how the entity acts together. So you have crime scene unit that's there, and she's holding a camera. It was a white female. She was holding a camera, and that is supposed to be the form for what was a fluorescent blue color directed light flashing all through my cell. On the second level, while I'm in 9C13, she's on the first level on the opposite side of the staircase, not even pointing a camera in my direction, but the state is using that as the form for what was the ongoing creation of directed light inside of my cell. That is terrorism while they are engaging in the demonic elements of monitoring, and doing so via the state actor of the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department crime scene investigation. And that's exactly what the Ontario Police Department did right now, bringing in a vehicle that says crime scene investigation to, by the way, the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library. I guess somebody stole a whole bunch of VCRs, VCR cassette tapes. So anyway, that's called criminal summoning. All right. So I just want to be clear, there is no form, and the crime scene investigation unit that was acting on behalf of the
state while I was kidnapped, while the state is stalking with directed light and engaging in what is terrorism, while that directed light was flashing all inside of my cell. Not only was she not pointing her camera in my direction, even if she was, understand, having a camera is not formed for what is substantial flashing of directed light inside of the cell, filling the cell. It was so vibrant and substantial that while my eyes were closed, I saw the light flashing. All right. I could see that there was light in my room. That's why I opened my eyes and I witnessed it. And then I looked downstairs. It's crime scene investigation. And the state actor is holding a camera in a totally different direction. It is not form. These are demons that also derive pleasure out of that, thinking that at the time they were going to get away with it. All right. This is how demons conduct. This is how demons behave. All right. And so I want to, since the state engages in that, since the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library just provided more documentation of what is criminal summoning, which is within their specific history of documented criminal activity. You have what is the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department crime scene investigation. Engaging in federal stalking. They came and participated in the P.O.C. themselves, went out of their way, and their form was that they were investigating a crime scene inside of the unit and going around and questioning inmates about what happened. When you don't even need to, there is a surveillance camera that you can see everything about what happened. And not only that, nothing happened, by the way. I just want to be clear, nothing happened. They're engaging in creating something that happened. Oh, did you witness it? No, I didn't hear anything. And it was already bedtime. Everybody was already locked down, supposedly. And not only that, you have surveillance cameras. You don't need to ask inmates anything. This was formed for patrolling around in the unit. And this creation of ongoing directed light, and they were doing it via crime scene investigation. So I am letting you know about another criminal act of state actor that occurred inside of the West Valley Detention Center, where terrorism was underway, and terrorism in the outward demonstration of what is demon possession by crime scene investigation of the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department. All right. And that is also what I documented. And I just thought I'd go ahead and expound upon that incident, since the police department, the Ontario Police Department, the demon possessed Ontario Police Department wanted to bring in crime scene investigation to the Ovitt Family Community Library, where I guess somebody stole a bunch of books from the kitty section, and that warranted the crime scene investigation unit under the fake sun and indirected light, where the state is stalking via plane and helicopter. Okay. It's 10:12 a.m. and that is P.O.C.
All right, I do want to document what is ongoing federal stalking and terrorism as the demons that are inside of the venue of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. And again, this is literally the people of the state. These are demon-possessed individuals acting collectively to monitor on the venue of the internet. That's 18 U.S.C. 2261A territory. And these are also demon-possessed actors who are engaging in what is terrorism, while they engage in the criminal elements of monitoring and doing so pursuant to their demonic behavioral pattern. Okay, so what I documented on their cameras inside of the venue of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, understand directed light is in the venue as I've already documented. That is ongoing. They are engaging in what is patrolling in relevant position. The state's criminal pattern of conduct is underway, so what the people of the state are doing is called maintaining presence inside of a facilitating venue. And they are maintaining presence, engaging in what is stalking in the path, pursuant to, and I'm sitting at station 28, so what you're literally witnessing on the surveillance cameras is simultaneous crossing a path pursuant to what these demons are aware of, as I am engaging in physical movement and activity on my communication devices, which I am using my MacBook in addition to my cell phone, and I am on the internet using Bluetooth, etc. And they maintain noise as they're crossing path. Again, directed light fills the space, so they are automatically creating substantial light activity as they are patrolling around, maintaining presence by standing at the computers around me, standing at the bookcase around me, sitting at the computers around me. And also doing so, entering the doors, or opening and closing doors. This is how they are creating noise. And I want to document specifically at 11:41 a.m. The group stalker, he's an employee, he's wearing a pink shirt today, and I cannot remember his name, but he has very jagged teeth in his mouth. He's a Caucasian male. And he is the one that created the policy limiting my use of the computer to 2 hours a day. This is immediately following my use of using the computer upon being the library is open. All right, so you could use the computer, but as soon as I started using it, and what am I using it for? Documentation. As soon as I started using the computer, as they are here for, as the library is open for that purpose, they limit it to 2 hours. All right, and so this is the same one that's engaging in that. As he's crossing path, he is he's pacing back and forth, first of all, and creating noise as he's crossing path. As he does so, understand this is a demon that knows exactly that at the moment that I look up at him, because I know what he's doing, but I'm just giving you context as to what is demonic about what they're doing. As he's crossing path, this group stalker stops in his tracks as I look up at him, and he's not looking at me. Okay, he's walking past. But this is a demon that I'm encountering, and as I look up at him as he is crossing path, he stops in his tracks, and I'm sitting at station 28. He stops in his tracks. The reason why he stops in his tracks is this is a demon that knows that I am focusing my vision on him. As he does continue to walk past, and understand my ability to break down what demons are doing is the terrorism of the ordinary targeted individual. Okay, so understand what I am relaying. The ordinary target individual is subject to what is terrorism by demon-possessed actors who are intending to strike fear, to traumatize, to terrorize, as they are engaging in what is ongoing monitoring on the venue of the internet and obstruction of justice together. And so as he crosses path, after pausing in his steps, aware that I am focusing my vision on the back of his head, as he's engaging in pacing and directed light and stalking with activity, another group stalker, a female, walks to the side of the computers, and you're looking at what is pacing. She crosses path, she walks in alignment to me, and she walks directly back. She literally engages in pacing. And at the same time that she does that, and this is within seconds, the male walks by. I focus my vision up at the back of his head because I know what he's doing. I'm just looking at him, and I find it pathetic. He stops in his tracks. This is a demon that knows that I'm looking at him as he is not looking at me. Okay, he continues to walk. Another group stalker comes and stops in alignment with me, so she walks forward, then she walks back. That is the pacing conduct. Okay, she engages in pacing at the same time that the male continues to walk, and at the same time that she does that, my computer is powered off. Okay, this is not only the creation of activity as you are powering off my computer. These are demons that are engaging in hostility as they are engaging in what is federal stalking conduct in the venue. But I want to be clear, is that ongoing use of their control of the environment and powering off as my computer is plugged into the electrical socket under number 27. That's not a malfunction, in the same way that lights flickering on and off are not a malfunction. This is the entity engaging in turning off my computer as they are monitoring my computer on the venue of the internet, and doing so as I focus my vision on a demon that's crossing path, and then another demon comes, engages in pacing, and then turns off the computer. This is harassment by demon-possessed actors. All right, but this is also engagement in the criminal elements of monitoring. As you are powering on and off a communication device, that is activity creation. As you are pacing back and forth, that's light activity creation and relevant positioning. And doing it with simultaneity to my focusing my vision on another demon that is pacing back and forth. That is the ongoing knowledge of that these stalkers have with regard to everything that I am doing at the same time. But again, he's pacing back and forth, he's in directed light, and that is the same with all of them. All right, while you do have one that was remaining stationary in relevant position on station number 26, that was an aged female. All right, the entity engages in repeating the conduct as I repeated in real time, turning off my laptop again, which again, this is controlling the electricity. No malfunction, no issues with my computer. So if you are disconnecting the electricity, which is what the state is doing, which is what they do at every location inside of this venue, except with the exception of actually the same location. This is the only location where they did not do it. They did it inside the study rooms. They do it as I sit at the side, at the back portion of the library. As I sit downstairs, they engage in turning the power on and off, which affects my laptop turning it off. Okay, whereas it's with regard to the battery, if it's plugged into an electrical source, it stays on. My laptop is not broken in this regard. So this is the demonic behavioral pattern. This is pursuant to what is harassment by the demon possessed who are engaging in terrorism, stalking in the path, in a venue where the directed light and the state is stalking by plane and helicopter, and law enforcement. So there is no mistake about what they are doing. And as the psychopath listens to me recite its criminal and terrorizing conduct for which it will be prosecuted, they engage in repeating that. Those are the demons that are engaging in this, okay? The demons that are controlling the environment. This is the same conduct documented inside of Economy N, all right, where the electricity is cut off in order to turn off my laptop. All right, and it is currently 11:50 a.m., and that is the sequence of events, just speaking to the behavior of demons, okay? This is how they behave. And engaging in repeated now, turning off the electricity allotted to my laptop, to the electrical socket, specific under number 27 where it's plugged in. in order to repeat that which I'm reciting in real time. This is the same thing that the state does as I speak to what is stalking by planes and creating plane engines noises while I'm standing outside of a vehicle. And I documented this. The state in real time repeated it, did that conduct as I said it, which is that's something that you're just going to play back on a tape because I documented it, and that's the conduct of demons. This is how they behave. All right. It is currently 11:51 a.m. and that is the ongoing control of the environment, and that is also documented as what is harassment while they are engaging in using the electrical outlets to power off my laptop, which is occurring at every place where I'm sitting inside of the library. This is not a malfunction of electricity. This is ongoing P.O.C. It is activity creation. It is monitoring conduct, and it is also harassment while the demons are engaging in the criminal elements of monitoring. It's 11:51 a.m. That's P.O.C.
All right, it is currently 1:21 p.m. and I'm dealing with, I'm going to document these demons that are engaging in federal stalking, and this is also hostility as I'm documenting them on their own cameras inside of the venue. And so Abby, that's what I'm pointing out on the surveillance cameras, she's engaging in loitering in relevant position using her job, that's called facilitation while the P.O.C. is underway. Using her job as she is loitering in relevant position and engaging in stalking the DVDs to my left. This is called relevant positioning, as she's creating audible activity and engaging in stalking with conduct, stalking with activity, as I am also uploading videos onto the on YouTube specifically, which is also relevant to this venue, while they engaged in criminal summoning, acting with the Ontario Police Department this morning. It is the pattern of conduct under any circumstance. There is, in other words, when I'm repeating, there's no form, meaning there is nothing. The criminal pattern of conduct is established. The state is monitoring. There is nothing that you are doing in a facilitating venue in relevant position in what is directed light under what is not the sun that is remaining over your venue. That is anything other than what it is. These are demons that are engaging in an ongoing perpetual presence and activity with simultaneity to what they are monitoring and corporately listening to me do, including inside of a private space, which is the restroom. I want to document what is also harassment, using the allotment of time on the computers to engage in harassment, which is also taxing time on the computer. So as they're engaging in, they limited it to 2 hours, like I told you, and then I go and request for the additional hour. And then it says, you can only get 40 minutes. All right, and so then she adjusts. What? The computer's whacking out again. They're monitoring on the computers, so they are referencing the computers as the reason for what is some malfunction. There are no malfunctions. They maintain absolute control over everything. They are monitoring on these communication devices. So this is speaking to everything that psychopaths do. Right, and these are psychopaths that I'm documenting, and so then I address her again about why don't I get another hour, or why is it only saying 40 minutes? This is waste of time, by the way, and this is intentional, and this is really? Oh man, the computers are freaking out right now. And this is the same one engaging in an ongoing demonic behavioral pattern, stalking with activity. This particular one, all right, she's not acting by herself, but I have specifically documented her. This is P.O.C. and so then I took an image of that so you can see. Then it eliminates down. You have 20 minutes remaining. This is all a waste of time. Okay, while they ultimately don't want me documenting or publishing documentation on the internet anyway, that's why they limit it to 2 hours maximum, making up a rule and then citing COVID-19, where they are in no way engaging in any sort of preparation or precautions pursuant to COVID-19. They're not sanitizing anything down. Everyone is sitting next to each other. They're engaging in ongoing stalking, pacing around in relevant position. All right, you have what is the ongoing presence inside of the venue during regular business hours, but citing COVID as the reason why you can't sit at a computer, even though you're open during regular business hours all day long, stating that people will be here all day long. Well, you're open all day long. Anyway, this is the asininity that I'm approached with while I'm documenting what our demons engaging in criminal activity and are desperate, okay? And so it is 1:24 p.m. And it does state now that you have 59 minutes remaining. I just want to document that is the ways in which, when I say this is how demons behave, this is how demons behave. This is what I'm dealing with, as I am documenting literally an entity, but it is also what is legally analyzed as what is harassment, all right, while you're documenting them actively engaging in criminal conduct, which is a threat to your life inside of their venue, all right? It's 1:25 p.m., that's P.O.C. All right, Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. It is still Wednesday, September 15, 2021, and federal group stalking and monitoring. That is federal stalking on the venue of the internet via communication devices by the public entity acting in concert with the people of the state while I remain at state facilitating venue, the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, located at 215 East C Street in the city of Ontario. This is demonic activity that is being practiced by the people and in an environment that is being maintained, deliberately maintained, both by the people and the public entity operating this criminal and demonic system. And the images that I've taken, you will observe that which I continue to document. And this is going to what is terrorism as federal stalking is underway amongst the demon possessed. And it sounds like an episode of The Living Dead, but it could not be more real and it could not be more demented. This is that which the government, the state of California, is practicing. And the people of the state of California are very real demon-possessed actors acting with the state, engaging in what is an absolutely satanic system. Every element that they engage in as they're engaging in monitoring together is demonic, and that demonic environment is maintained inside of the state facilitating venue. And for example, the demonic behavioral pattern is ceaselessly underway, and this is terrorism while they maintain presence inside of the venue and outside of the venue. But while I'm inside of the venue, which is where I'm isolating the P.O.C. in my documentation, because I am one person, so I am documenting what I observe and what I am subject to, the people of the state engage in stalking with noise, and this is demonic, all right? And they're doing so in directed light. This directed light activity is demonic. They are monitoring together and this engaging in this demonic activity, which is the group act of what are demons. Demons act in packs. This is absolutely demonic in every way, and this is what is terrorism that is ongoing inside of this venue. And you will see also, I'm on the first floor in this allegedly quiet area of the library. Demons are engaging in ongoing stalking with activity. It is contrary to that. You're hearing what is random booming, like there's an earthquake or someone's trying to break through the top level of the library as I walk through the library or as I sit at the desk. And again, I'm surrounded by psychopaths, and they just act like it's not happening, all right? And if they're hitting the desk, they're hitting surfaces and making noise. And if I ask them to stop, they act like they're not doing it. They act clueless, all right? You're dealing with, and this is the reality of dealing with the demon-possessed psychopaths, who are, by the way, clearly established as engaging in P.O.C. I am demonstrating, speaking to what is the necessity of policy and what is the threat that the people wage while they're engaging in this demonic system in concert and on behalf of the state. It is 8:21 p.m. and what you'll see in the picture that I took, the last image that I took at 8:13 p.m., the group stalker, it's a male, he's sitting in alignment to me, and as he gets up and he was walking away, you will see that he is walking, he has red and black high top Nikes on, and he is walking away. As he is leaving, he is in directed light, and you will see that, look at the shadow of the chairs. The chair has multiple shadows in different directions. He is walking away, and his shadow is surrounding his body. He has 3 shadows around him. I'm taking pictures as I'm walking around on the first floor. That's what I'm taking images of. These are demon-possessed stalkers engaging in demonic activity. They are doing nothing but maintaining presence. It does not get any more demented to that, and I am not exaggerating when I'm speaking to what they are doing together, and there is no exception to that. And the environment is even maintained down here on the first level inside of the library, where you have what is the state's directed light as the demon-possessed stalkers that are the people of the state are inside of this venue stalking with ongoing noise. That is conduct that is intended to terrorize while they are engaging what is federal stalking on the venue of the internet in concert and on behalf of the state. It's 8:23 p.m. and that is P.O.C. All right, documentation of ongoing terrorism, acts of terrorism by the state. Upon my exit of state facilitating venue, Ontario Ovid Family Community Library at 8:34 p.m., the state is sounding plane engines over my head as I am walking out of the not out of the bathroom, but out of the venue. While a group stalker is in alignment in the parking lot area of the Ontario Town Square, that's light activity in relevant position. And the state is over my head sounding plane engines. This is license plate 5UPL280. And as I am walking, the state is sounding plane engines, and you have a group stalker that's stalking in relevant position with light. I am surrounded with my shadow, which are 4 shadows in front, on both sides of me, and behind me. All right, this is terrorism as I'm documenting it while the state is engaging in it. And the people are acting pursuant to that. So this is documentation of ongoing acts of terrorism by the state. It's 8:35 p.m. That's P.O.C. 5 VEB 691. It's 8:36 p.m. All right, license plate. We got group stalkers patrolling in the parking lot of Metro 102. A directed light is on the brick wall. This is the same thing that armed response was doing. 890L80, that's a Nevada plate. Yeah, so they park their vehicle, leaving their headlights toward the wall. They have multiple shadows as they're walking away from the car. License plate 6KVY151. Right, and I did read that license plate. Let me give it to you one more time. The Nevada plate, 890L80. Okay, while the state flies over, and my shadow is in front of me. 3 of them in front of me. And the state is flying over an aircraft. And the people of the state, this is demon possession, so they are stalking as a pack, maintaining presence and maintaining activity, just like they are doing in traffic. That is the entity maintaining presence and maintaining activity. It is 8:38 p.m. This is third-party facilitating venue, Metro 102. This is attributed to every single last one that has an apartment at this address. That's how that goes. This is a venue. They're not at their private homes. They're in relevant position. The state is flying over their apartment building. The state is molesting with directed light. License plate 8DQ2685. It's 8:39 p.m. And what I also you'll see it in the video, but what I captured is fake moon directly over my head. It might have been too dark to capture it on the video, but I had 3 shadows that were in front of me, and they were extraordinarily tall. 3 shadows in front, this fake moon over my head, the state flying over right in front of me, and group stalkers are maintaining presence. That's P.O.C. And that is demonic activity. That's terrorism by the entity acting together. It's 8:40 p.m. 6PWG 599. I thought that was Ontario Police. 6ZHJ 491, I believe. It is 8:40 p.m. I'm walking south on Lemon, headed toward the Ontario Museum of History and Arts, and fake moon directly over my head. It is 8:41 p.m. That's P.O.C.
Union Pacific engaging in terrorism, the state filling the grounds of the museum with the super amplified sound of a train. It's 10:40 p.m. and in real time, literally as I open up my podcast, decreasing the level of amplification, although you can still hear it in the background. The state turned it down. It was even louder than that.
That's terrorism by Union Pacific. Under the fake sun during the day and directed light at night. It's P.O.C. $11:06 p.m. That's called stalking with activity as well. Union Pacific engaging in repeated acts of terrorism at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. The state using Union Pacific as a guise under which amplification of audible activity, and doing so under what is the fake moon and directed light, and amplifying this audible activity. This is harassment while the pattern of conduct is underway by the demon possessed. That is Union Pacific engaging in what is terrorism, all right, where federal stalking is underway. It's 11:07 p.m. and this is the sound which you're listening to. It is literally concentrated around me while I'm sitting on the north side of the museum. That is the sound of the train that is being amplified from the back street of Emporia. That's what that's supposed to be. The sound is surrounding me on this side of the museum, which is what the state is doing all the time. You're just going to pay attention to the volume because that is amplification. Hearing the train on the train tracks, and the sound is literally perceived right here, coming from what is this space right here around me where I'm on the north side of the museum, as opposed to when you're perceiving something that you're hearing from a distance. That's not what is ongoing. This is surrounding with loud noise that is originating right here around me. All right, that's the state's amplification of activity, and you are hearing what is the state amplifying the sound of literally the train on the tracks. This is the same thing the state does at a distance, all right? That's called amplification. That's demonic activity, and Union Pacific is engaging in that. That's terrorism. It's 11:08 p.m. P.O.C.